Warning. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use, for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
To the young people who are watching, it is okay to feel sad and disappointed, but please know it's going to be okay. On the campaign, I would often say, when we fight, we win. But here's the thing. Sometimes the fight takes a while. That doesn't mean we won't win. The important thing is don't ever give up. Don't ever give up. Don't ever stop trying to make the world a better place. You have power. You have power.
Well. Looks like Kamala didn't make it to that White House there, did she? In the words of Harvey Your World, I told you so, I told you so, I told you so. Family. Let's start with the why, shall we? Let's just go with the why Kamala Harris did not get elected. A lot of people have been calling things out. We've been calling it out from day one. And a lot of people tried to make us look crazy, especially black men. But shout out to the black women as well, because they stood right by us black men, and black women took them down, and I'm going to prove it here today. And we're going to get real petty with it. You dig what I'm saying? So let's start off with the fake phone call, that Kamala Harris basically put out a clip on during her campaign, acting as if she's speaking to somebody, and that person told her that, yes, I voted and I voted for you. But come to find out, she didn't call anybody. The phone was only in camera mode. So let's check that out.
You did, thank you. It's so important that everybody participates, and I think it's I'm sure you have a lot of other things you could be doing, taking time more fully. Thank you. And you enjoy your day, okay? How you doing? Have you voted already?
Family, what is that? Is that not camera mode? Is that not camera mode that you see there, family? Give me 1 second. I want to try and let me see here. All right, family. My apologies. I got the problem fixed. I'm telling you, man, being in a new studio is a hassle and a half, especially when you have other people who use the same studio. Settings get changed, all kind of different things, and you got to go back and you got to redo all the settings, even though you save the settings on a flash drive and everything else. All these other problems come up, but it's okay. Murphy's Law, whatever is likely to go wrong will. So let's continue, because I have a lot that I want to get to, because my time has dwindled down trying to fix these problems here. So we're going to run through what I have to show you. So that was the Kamala Harris fake phone call. Next, we're going to actually go over to MSNBC, where they basically started talking some sense.
I think this is the leftovers of the 2016 kind of mess, that there were all of these issues that the Democratic Party saw laid out very clearly in 2016 after Hillary Clinton's loss, and that rather than address those issues, they moved and they migrated. What happened is that the pandemic, right? The pandemic came upon us, and Joe Biden happened to be the person for the pandemic. And I think they mistook that moment for a referendum on what the Democrats had to offer, rather than being introspective. I'll tell you one other person who I think is going to be incredibly important, actually two other people. The first person is Bernie Sanders. One of the things that Bernie Sanders has been saying since at least 2014 has been about how the Democratic Party, if it wants to keep these coalitions, needs to talk about bread and butter issues.
That's real funny, because when we were speaking to Bernie Sanders, he kept telling us reparations wasn't feasible. It wasn't feasible. But he wanted to talk about keeping coalitions and talking about grassroots issues and things like that. The real grassroots issue is reparations, and this is why we didn't show up, and this is why they lost, in the words of KG. No, let me do it like KG would really do it. They lost. Let's continue.
It needs to talk about politics. A lot of people attacked him for that, saying, well, are you saying that cultural politics don't matter? That's not what he was saying. He was saying we need to focus on these things. The other person is Stacey Abrams. We have not heard a lot from Stacey Abrams.
Oh, the woman that only wanted to speak about abortion. The woman that we got up out of the paint early. Oh, okay.
This election cycle, but her organizations, particularly Fair Fight, the New Georgia Voter Project, and other organizations were instrumental in pulling together coalitions that ended up winning Joe Biden Georgia in 2020, but also Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin.
Not this time, though.
Not this time, though. Exactly. Let's move along here. Even Stephen A. the Django Tap Dancing Smith, he's trying to sound like the new black media.
How about this one from Oprah? Take a listen.
If we don't show up tomorrow, it is entirely possible that we will not have the opportunity to ever cast a ballot again. And let me be very clear. If you do not make sure that the people in your life can get to the polls, that is a mistake. Deciding not to decide, that is most definitely a vote to let other people control your future.
Civil Rights Act of 1964, Voting Rights Act of 1965, been in place since 1965. That's spanning more than nearly 60 years. Okay, and you're going to look an audience in the face and you're going to tell them that if you vote for Donald Trump, you may not ever be able to cast a vote again. Who believed that?
Apparently a lot of the Democrats and a lot of their constituents, because it's still going around right now all over TikTok.
Who believed that coming from Oprah? Truly, who believed that? This is the kind of stuff that alienates an electorate, that alienates a vote. or voter.
There you have it. You know, we've been talking like this since Obama, the new black media. We've been talking like this since we seen what Obama did to us. And everybody else wanted to make it seem like it was about everything else and everyone else and all this other stuff like they're trying to do now in the news. But we're going to get to that. Let's get to some of these crash outs, eh? Shout out to Arthur Wilkins, excuse me. Has anyone checked on this little one? As anyone, too loud, too wrong here. He says, when Kamala Harris wins the election, prepare to be sick of me. You know what we got? We got this here. This is what we got. And I'm going to speed up the time because we don't have much time here. We're going to go 1.5.
Look, I know a lot of people don't like the results, but the results are the results. Okay, we have to accept that the results are the results. People calling for a recount. I don't.
Wait a second, family. Ain't he calmer than he's ever been? Ain't he calmer than we've ever heard? Ain't he? Because I swear, for God, that this man was amplified times 1,000 before the election, and now everybody got that defeatist energy.
Know where the votes are coming from. The problem is you guys didn't go out and vote. That's the problem. And before you guys get on here and blame Kamala Harris for what?
The problem is y'all didn't get out and vote. No. That's not the problem. That was our solution. That was our decision to do because neither party offered us anything. So that wasn't a problem whatsoever. It was the Democrats' problems. It was the Democrats' problems, not ours.
Happened with this election. She did an excellent job. She ran an excellent campaign. She ran it flawlessly, from her interviews with Fox News to her.
Flawlessly, family. Glorilla, Sexy Red. Flawlessly. Megan Thee Stallion shaking her ass all over the stage. Eminem coming out. Obama scolding black men. Flawlessly. All right.
Debate performance. She knocked it out the park. You can't say she didn't go to Wisconsin. You can't say she didn't go to Pennsylvania. You can't say that she didn't hit off all the swing states she needed. You cannot say she did not have a good...
Pandering and placating to people who didn't want to vote for her in the first place. But let's continue.
Ground game. You can't say she didn't have policies. You can't say that she didn't have a clear message. You cannot say that. Kamala Harris ran an excellent campaign.
We could say all of that.
The problem is hatred won. People hate more. People want to point the finger and blame other demographics for why their life isn't the way they want it to be.
People hate more. No, people just love themselves more. People love their communities more. We're seeing what's happening in our communities with these illegals. We're seeing the resources that are being taken from us and our children's children to give to these people that shouldn't even be here. We're seeing it with our own eyes.
That's the reality. But I'm not going to get on my platform and I'm not going to blame other races of people. I know a lot of people are going to go out here and attack Latinos. Latinos are about to fuck around and they're about to find out the way that black people have found out for nearly 400 years in this country.
It's funny how Democrats are so against deportation and deporting people, right? But as soon as they get mad enough, they start talking like this. They start being happy and glad that these folks are going to have to deal with the deportation, excuse me.
So I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to rub nothing in nobody's face. There is no I told you so. The only thing we can do is buckle up and be prepared for what's about to happen, because this man is about to walk into the presidency with a fucking trifecta.
And whose fault is that? That is the fault of the Democrats. You can go and thank them because they chose to ignore our messaging. They chose to ignore the black agenda. They chose to ignore the black grassroots. And because of that, we ignored them on vote day. November 5th, it was a day of us sitting on the couch ignoring the Democratic Party.
where he's going to be able to repeal away our affordable health care. And once he takes that away, people like me with pre-existing conditions, we are fucked.
And okay, we're going to move on because, you know, like I said, we got a lot to get to. Let's get to this here.
Yo, I'm scared to go to sleep. I might wake up a motherfucking slave. 24/7 on Disney Plus. Y'all, like, why are y'all Trump supporters? Like, why?
Who said we were Trump supporters? I'm going to show you the amount of people who actually voted for Trump in the black community. I'm going to give you guys the actual numbers towards the end, but no one said we were Trump supporters. We said we're not for Trump. We're not for Kamala. So which one of you is going to get on the good foot and offer our community something to keep you in the White House or to put you in the White House? You afraid you're going to wake up and be a slave. Donald Trump was had the presidency for 4 years, 2016 to 2020. Wasn't no chains being put on black Americans. You didn't get your ass put back into slavery, did you? But all of a sudden, because, you know, the Democratic Party and the DNC and MSDNC and CNN and all of these lamestream media outlets was sitting here telling you what would be the end goal if Donald Trump got into office, you sat here and believed them even though you didn't believe your own goddamn eyes. Let's continue.
This is a fraud. Why are y'all Trump supporters? Like, why is this a thing right now?
Let's move on, family.
All right, guys, it's time to go to bed. None of us are stressed about the election, right? We all are gonna just go have the best night's sleep of our lives, aren't we?
Dog licking her all up in the goddamn face. This is how you know these folks ain't got nothing to do with us and we ain't got nothing to do with them. Any black folk know, you put a dog in our face, especially if it's our dog, that dog ain't gonna be licking us in the face. It'll look at us. It'll look lovingly at us, but it won't lick us in the face. We don't allow that shit. I don't know where the hell anybody get... Anyway, let's continue.
I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done with you. I'm done with you and your mother and your sister. I'm just done with all of this.
I'm done with you. I'm done with your mother and your sister. What does my mother and my sister has to do with any of this? You should be done sneaking into countries. You should be done breaking the laws nationally. You should be done.
He's not gonna happen. Go.
Grandma had to take her a shot, and I don't blame her. I don't blame her. It was a real tough time for her. I can see it in her face. I see it in her emotions. She was sitting there in the fetal positions, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. Look at this. Hold up. She is laying in the fetal position crying.
Guys, we literally don't even have to panic. We literally don't even have to freak out right now. We don't even have to fucking, we don't have to freak out. We don't have to freak out because it's not even real. Because, bitch, recount the vote!
Guys, I just voted, and I chose family.
End this reign of terror now.
I chose family, I chose women, I chose America. I love you.
Moving on. I'm moving on. We're moving on.
I love all of this. Let's do it.
The signs of mental health issues has been so on display after the election. Remember those folks that used to ride the yellow school bus and then they released them into the population and didn't tell anybody who they were? Well,
let's do this.
No, you lost. In the words of KG.
It's an utter betrayal for anybody that is not a cisgendered white Christian.
If you voted for that man, if you voted for anybody other than Kamala, and you live in one of the states that it was, you know, close, or if you didn't vote, fuck you. Fuck you. I don't want to hear about how shitty your life gets under his policies. Live with that decision. Sit with it. Let it make you uncomfortable. Fuck you.
I just got a feeling, and family, let me know in the chat if you feel the same thing. I feel like she wanted to end off with the N-word, with the hard ER. But let's continue watching the crash outs.
I can't believe Trump's actually gonna win this fucking thing. Oh, Jesus Christ, I'm so pissed off. Fuck, fuck, fuck. God damn it. I can't believe Trump.
The Michelin Man wasn't having it.
I'm sorry. No, 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 no. Why? Why? Do you really hate me that bad? I'm sorry.
Funny thing about this woman here, I actually did some digging on this woman, and this woman is a Caribbean bedwitch tether. Yes, a Caribbean bedwitch tether. Her dudes milk toast, and her tagline on her TikTok is literally, "Sorry, I'm just loud." So she's always animated like this. She has a few other videos that's really animated like this as well, but that's what she is. Let's move along.
Donald J. Trump is now president of the United States. President Obama for the
What a great honor to be able to introduce for the first time ever anywhere the...
I don't know what the fuck y'all want me to say. I don't know what dream y'all want me to sell you, what reassurance you think that I should be giving you right now, but I can't. I'm a black woman in America, and I'm tired.
Where's your family from? Miss Black Woman in America who's tired? Because you're not from here, and I'm going to show you the numbers stating that you can't be from here if you're talking and crying like this.
I'm tired. I'm disgusted with this country. I'm disgusted with the people in this country, and I'm disgusted with myself because I had so much faith in humanity. Thank you, because I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. A country that literally was built on the back of racism, homophobia, misogyny. Like, what the fuck was I thinking?
That your family came over here to gain benefits from, to align with. Let's move on.
I'm so glad you guys got your cheap ass groceries and your cheap ass fucking gas, because you're fucking broke as shit.
Oh my God. Oh man. We gonna take that from the top.
I'm so glad you guys got your cheap ass groceries and your cheap ass fucking gas, because you're fucking broke as shit. You're fucking broke. You're fucking broke. Broke. I said I'm fucking being serious. You're fucking broke.
You think her family's in the mix to get that deportation notice? She's calling people broke, and that's exactly why people vote the way they vote. They vote economics. They don't vote feelings. They don't vote vibes. Let's continue. Oh, this one here. This one here is hilarious. Hold up. Let's do it.
Donald Trump is president, and I think all women should stop having sex for the next 4 years.
Now, family, I've already set this on my Twitter X account. If you don't follow me, go ahead and follow me at the Church of Black Power or the Church of B1. And I truly believe that feminism wasn't really meant, I don't want to say really, wasn't the only reason let me rephrase that. I feel that feminism's goal wasn't only to take the black man away from the black woman, but I feel like their goal is literally to push feminism upon women in our communities as well. Because this is like the second time they've done this. When Roe v. Wade got overturned, they was all kind of women out here talking about we should stop having sex with men. So who's going to tell her that? I'm pretty sure no one's trying to touch her anyway.
Protest and protection of your bodies. As we know, if that little baby inside you gives you any trouble and you need an emergency healthcare, you're fucked and you're gonna die. I think that is sufficient enough reason to stop having sex.
And that's a lie. I'm going to show a clip on that in a minute, but let's continue. This right here really got to me because the Black Grassroots has been defending Angel Reese ever since she's become a spectacle in the mainstream media. And so she says, I'm so disappointed in America. Some of you just couldn't selfishly put your pride aside. So I came in and I said, how about you worry about basketball and leave the politics to the Black Grassroots, huh? The same way we put up a shield when white supremacy came for you, we put up that same shield to protect the black community as well. That right there really got to me because you know what's going on. And I know she do when it comes to white supremacy because she's been seeing it attack her. But when we stand up for our community when it comes to the whole spectrum of elections and things like that, oh, we're being selfish. Okay, cool. That's what we're here for. This big head, bobble-headed bastard want to sit here and say that we're all misogynistic.
Really quickly, too. Democrats need to be mature, and they need to be honest. And they need to say, yes, there's misogyny. But it's not just misogyny from white men. Mm-hmm. It's misogyny from Hispanic men. Right. It's misogyny from black men, things we've all been talking about, who do not want a woman leading them. It might be race issues with Hispanics. They don't want a black woman as president of the United States. You know, the Democratic Party, I've always found when you're sitting around talking, they love to just sort of balkanize everybody into these separate groups and say, oh, white people don't like women and black people. No, it is time for the Democrats to say, okay, and you and I have talked about this before, a lot of Hispanic voters have problems with black candidates.
Right. And with other Hispanics. You've got some that don't like each other. And some of the most misogynist things I've heard going on the Get Out the Vote tour came from black men. I mean, misogynist things. So you're absolutely right. It's not simplistic.
What was those misogynistic things? I'm tired of people saying black men is so misogynistic and we're being misogynistic, but they will not tell you what the misogynistic things that are being said are. Let's continue. Matter of fact, we're going to skip this one. We're going to skip a few of these, but I just want you to see how many I have here because I don't have much time now. So we have that one. Oh, we're going to definitely play this.
They also dragged the shit out of me for being a Democratic shield.
You are.
I think all I'm saying is,
nuts.
But I can't keep saying everybody's nuts.
They're nuts if they're saying you're a shield for the Democrats.
All three shields are saying on the show. Okay. 3 shills sitting on the show. One shield is complaining that it's messing with her that she's being called a shield, and another shield want to sit there and say they're crazy if they're calling you a shield. But you're a shield too. All of you are shields. No, we can't be crazy because I'm about to show you the numbers.
But I think, Tiff, that's their perspective. Yeah. Literally, like we're in a place now where the shit is so narrowed down and so refined and so like we're not engaging people anymore.
All right, so that was there. This is the View melting down. Sonny Hodgins.
I'm surprised at the result, but I'm not surprised. As a woman of color, I was so hopeful.
You mean a conquistador descendant who owned slaves like Kamala Harris' family? Okay, we're going to move on from you. Vanessa Jones, y'all all heard him cry. I ain't got to play this. Okay? But let's get to this roly-poly Martin. They all out here getting they cry on.
When you look at states like New York, New Jersey, Harris barely wins those states. Lower margins than when Biden did. When you look at the numbers, look at what the country decided. The country decided, we don't mind if you lead an insurrection. We're good. We don't mind if you steal classified documents and lie about it and don't return them. We're good. We don't mind if you cheat with your company. We're good.
We don't mind if you kick out people like Roly Poly Martin, who's just literally a chubby tether ass dude with a hairline that got pushed back by the wind. We're good. Let's move on. See, I was going to play this giraffe looking chick, but I'm not. I really want to jump over here to play this clip about this whole abortion situation here.
Find this. Are there any states where women face prosecution for having an abortion?
No.
Are there any states that criminalize miscarriage?
No.
Or that care for a miscarriage?
No.
Are there any states that criminalize removing an ectopic pregnancy?
No.
Are there any states that prohibit life-saving care for the mother?
No.
Are there any states where women have to be actively dying for a doctor to be able to act for her care?
No.
There's been a lot of rhetoric in this that I'm concerned pushes people away from getting access to health care. Vice President Harris in a speech recently said that women were being arrested and facing prosecution for experiencing miscarriages. Ms. Hackler, do you know of a single instance where a woman has been arrested for having a miscarriage or getting health care for that?
No, treatment for miscarriage is allowed under the law. And there have been instances where I think that one example of that's been pointed to is misleading because the woman, I think she was in Ohio, the charges against her were not abortion related. And so it's misleading to use that as an example. It's
not only misleading, but it scares women away from getting access to health care.
Boom, shakalaka. Now, let's move on to this loud and wrong dude. This is something that I had to put together because this dude was just so loud and wrong, I had to make sure we cataloged it.
I can feel it in the air, baby. I can feel it in the air, PAs. Hey, Philly, we need y'all, baby. Today, Georgia. Georgia. Hey, I know you going to vote today, Georgia. North Carolina going to raise up. North Carolina, put it right there like a helicopter. Hey, North Carolina, let's go, baby. Us. Let's go, Detroit. Let's go, Michigan. Hey, Wisconsin, I ain't know what to play, but y'all play this at the football game, so fuck it. Hey, Wisconsin. Hey, Florida. You know we going to them polls today, Florida.
So, you see how he's looking now? Yeah, buddy. He woke up the next morning and saw how loud and wrong he was, and he wanted to come out giving out hugs.
Yo, definitely want to jump on here real quick, man, and check on y'all and make sure that y'all was good.
Now, notice, he's not doing that raspy little caricature minstrel show voice. Everybody's turned down in their energy.
Just make sure that y'all was okay. Don't know if y'all can even see my arms, but if I could hug each and every one of y'all who needed a hug right now, man, and just let you put your head on my shoulder and just get off what you want to get off, God knows I would. I was just thinking to myself, man, I wish I had something big enough that I could invite whoever wanted to come just to sit around and do nothing.
We're going to move along from him. Now, here's some disrespectful stuff. Kamala Harris didn't give a concession speech. She got so upset, she didn't give a concession speech like any other president would. And a lot of people took that as disrespectful. But I'm going to play this clip, and then I'm going to actually get into some numbers. I'm going to have to do a part 2 to this because there was so much more I wanted to show you, but because my time dwindling down and I have to get back to work in a little bit, I have to end it off soon. So I'm going to play this, and then I'm going to go to the numbers.
All right, well, here at Howard, we do see people leaving here, and we understand that campaign chair Jen O'Malley Dillon released a statement to their team, and I'll just read you part of what she said. We've been saying for weeks that this race might not be called tonight. Those of you who were around in 2020 know this well. It takes time for all the votes to be counted, and all the votes will be counted. That's how our system works. What we do know is this race is not going to come into focus until the early morning hours. So that is Jen O'Malley Dillon.
And that's them showing the disrespectful nature of Kamala Harris. Now, like I said, I had a lot more to show you here, including the concession speech of Kamala Harris here. But like I said, we'll do a part 2 on these. I come back here. I want to get to these numbers because they're trying to make it seem like it wasn't black voters. And I'm going to show you that's exactly what it was. This article here was the day before the election, and it says how black voter turnout could impact the 2024 presidential race. Now, we're not going to read that. I just want to show you some information here. This is the exit polls from 2012. Okay. All right. 55% of black Americans voted for Obama. Who voted? Let me make sure I say who voted. I want to, excuse me, get this off there. In 2012, you had roughly 120 million voters, a little bit 125 million voters who voted. Okay? I want you to remember that number. Let's go. Oh, dang it. That page got clipped. All right, 2020. I wanted to pull over here. Okay. So, 429,631 people voted in 2020. The population of aged people who could vote is 252,274,000. Now, if you look at that, nearly half of the U.S. population did not vote in 2020. Let's move on. Geez. Okay, so 143 million, and I'm going to do on Monday, I'm going to do a full breakdown of this because I only have 2 minutes left here. So 143 million people voted in this election. Out of that, 11% of that was black people. Black people accounted for 15,730,000 votes, approximately, okay? Latinos, 85% of them voted for Democrats. So Democrats got 13 million, around 13, almost 14 million votes from black Americans. Donald Trump, this is the Hispanic numbers here. 12% of the 143 million, and that's 17,160,000. 13%. This was the one that's supposed to be before it. This is the 13% that voted for Trump. So only 2 million, approximately 2 million people voted for Donald Trump in the black community. So out of that 17 million people in the Latino community, 7 million, approximately almost 8 million people voted for the Democrats in the Latino community, and voted for the Republicans. The 52 was Democrats. So their numbers cancel out each other. 8 million, 7 million is voted for Trump. 8 million what voted for the Democratic Party. Now, 11%. Remember that number, family. 11%. Right? Of black people voted. As of 2022, 5.1 million black immigrants in the United States. Let's take that and do the math here, because the math says if there's 49.9 million black Americans, guess what? 5.1 million out of 49.9 million is what? Approximately 10%. So what I'm telling you, family, and I'm going to end off with this. Black Americans The foundational black Americans, the descendant of American freemen, voted at less than 1% for these people. Less than 1%. And if you don't believe me, stay tuned until I do my broadcast on Monday, where I'll have a lot more time to break this down. And with that being said, family and friends, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell so you can be notified whenever videos like this drop. Please make sure you're hitting that like and share button so we can beat up the algorithm. Make sure we get that message out to the ears that need to hear. And also, if you have not done so yet, please click the link in the description. Go to change.org and put your signature down on the petition for reparations. Family, we're running the yard. It was us, it was us, it was us. Don't let nobody tell you it wasn't. And get real petty about it. And with that being said, the doors of the church are now closed. Peace, family.